So it's time for the pre-final for Prix 1995, and here is your starting grid. On pole position, it's the number 100 of Jimmy Fredslund Ibsen, with Henry Kambrink alongside on the front row in the 147. Row 2 is the number 30 of Leif Søren Pedersen and the number 30 of Paul Larsen, both representing Denmark. It's Denmark and Sweden, row 3, with defending Prix 95 champion Kim Engström in the number 70, joined by Giovanni Neri from Sweden on the number 92 entry. Kasper Jeppesen and the outgoing Prix 89 champion from last year, Mia Bach Pedersen in the 12 and the 4, round out the top 4 rows. Completing the top 10, both from this very nation itself, Kim Stift Ibsen in the 95 and Sin Alkia Ring in the number 84. Rounding out the 15-strong grid will be the number 55 of Mogens Magfart Intanai, Ole Andersen in the number 61, Michael Edelhart in the number 40, and Yannick Jorgensen and Per Lankilde Lausen. That is your 15-strong pre-95 grid for the pre-final. So with the gantry by the P1 Bistro very much filled to bursting point, we're ready and steady for the pre-final for Prix 1995. The revs rise, we are underway, and the pole sitter gets a bad start. So Henning Kambrink gets through and has the race lead. Paul Larsen, the number 30, manages to jump up into second position as it's 2x2, side by side, hurrah, coming out of into and out of turn number 3. And looks like Paul Larsen might be leading the number 30, who is a little bit further down the order. Paul Larsen has bolted early doors and gotten away quickly. Now into the next right-hand hairpin they go, into the right-hander before the two, what I like to call the big S-bend. Well, it's 2 hairpins, one straight after another. And you've got to be very, very clinical with how you negotiate these particular corners on the circuit. So 10 minutes plus an additional lap, a little bit of juxtaposing for round 4th, 5th place as they come out of the final corner. Who's leading after the opening lap? Paul Larsen. What a great start for the number 30, Giovanni Neri in the number 92 in second. Henrik Kambrink in the number 147 rounds out the top 3 ahead of Kasper Jeppesen. Leif Søren Pedersen, Kim Engström. Oh no! That is big drama. I think that was the 100. I think that was Jimmy Fredslund Ibsen over the back of Kim Engström coming out of turn 3. That is the defending Prix 95 champion is out. Kim Engström out after contact, following on from Jimmy Fredslund Ibsen, trying to get back out of turn 3, and had, unfortunately, Kim Engström in his way and went over the back of him. That's not going to sit well. Well, that's definitely not sitting well, just showcasing the body language just then of Kim Engström, but also with what the stewards might decide post-race in terms of any kind of penalty or punishment thereof. But Paul Larsen is leading by 1.2 seconds ahead of Giovanni Neri. There are the 2 battling over 4th and 5th. That is Leif Søren Pedersen and Kasper Jeppesen. But look who's closing in. The driver that qualified in the top 10. She's the outgoing Prix 89 champion. Oh, well, Jeppesen got to the inside of Leif Søren Pedersen through turn 5 and got through for 4th. Now they've got Mia Bach-Pedersen and Kim Stift-Ipsen in the number 4 and the number 95 on the Techno and the OTK respectively. They are closing them down. So Per Lange-Lausen did not even take part in the race. Jimmy Fredlund-Ipsen and Kim Engström out on lap 2 at turn 3. Now this has upset the apple cart, so to speak. Henrik Hambrink in 3rd place, new fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 1.224. And was just over a tenth quicker than Giovanni Neri. The gap between them was half a second. It's not even that as all. Hambrink looking up the inside of Neri going through into turn 3. We'll make that turn 4. My apologies there. But Hambrink really fancies his opportunity to get past Giovanni Neri. And if he does that, then it's time to go after Paul Larsson. And, well, Jimmy, you know what's even stranger? Kim Engström and Jimmy Fredslund-Ipsen were the top 2 in the final at Prix 95 last year. But everyone from 1st to 11th are putting in personal bests. Hambrink goes sub 61. 1 minute 0.929. And he's really got the bit between his teeth. He's going to look possibly to the inside of Giovanni Neri, but might, through at turn 3, might get the run coming into 4, but then it could be, might get the opportunity going through into 5. A little bit further back, Kasper Jeppesen and Leif Sander Pedersen rounding out the top 5. Mia Bach-Pedersen has been passed in the meantime. She's now down to 7th, behind Kim Stift-Ipsen in the number 95. So there is still nearly half of this race to go. And after this one, we've got one more pre-final to go. And then we've got our last show run of the weekend before the big 3. The big 3 finals that will decide our Classic Kart Race 100cc Euro Grand Prix 2024 champions. As there is a change. Leif Sander Pedersen up the inside of the final right-hander on Kasper Jeppesen. That was a great move. And Jeppesen is trying to fire back into turn 1. Pedersen defends. That's now bringing Stift-Ipsen and Pedersen into the mix. And this is the quartet battling away over 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. We've still got under 4.5 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. Sometimes it might be just the case of conserve your tyres a little bit. Don't over-rotate them. Don't go for hell for leather. Don't go 11 tenths and rip everything to shreds. Mechanical sympathy is going to be your friend in this latter stage of the weekend, especially with the finals. But at the moment, Paul Larsson in the number 30 is comfortably leading the way. Second, Giovanni Neri. Or is it? Let's have a look. Yes, it still is. And Henrik Hambrink getting a real good run coming out of turn number 2. He's going to dive to the inside here at 3. And that's the change for second. But Hambrink runs wide out of turn 3. Giovanni Neri quickly takes that place back. Great little exchange from the drivers in 2nd and 3rd position. But what this is doing is Paul Larsson in the number 30 is just comfortably got the racehorse blinkers on and is not concentrating on what is happening behind. Unless those two, if they were close in proximity to the exhaust tip on the back of his cart, he would then be worried. He would then have to engage his spidey sense, his sixth sense, if you will, and anticipate what the drivers behind are going to do. But the drivers behind him, they are just more interested in battling over 2nd position. Meantime, Kim Stift-Ipsen was looking very racy behind Kasper Jeppesen in the number 12. And now the number 95, Kim Stift-Ipsen, looks up the inside of Kasper Jeppesen through at turn 3. And now might look for, well, he's not going to look for the move in through into turn number 4. considering the fact that Epperson's steering was all over the place. He was like left, right, left, right, left, right, trying to hold the car on the racing line and to correct understeer, correct oversteer. So some really, really good battles at the moment up and down the order here in Prix 95 for the pre-final. Yes, we only had, we had that big incident between Kim Engström and Jimmy Fredslund Ibsen, but they still have the final. And that's winner take all. At this moment, you might be one of the top contenders. You might be one of the top two that finished in the event last year. But it's the winner take all aspect that really makes it interesting here. As Kim Stift-Ibsen powers alongside to the left of Kasper Jeppesen, and the number 12 has to relinquish that 5th place to the number 95. Great overspeed for the OTK of Kim Stift-Ibsen. Mia Bach-Pedersen, well, she's put in another new personal best. There she is, the number 4. Really enjoying the move up to Prix 95. However, Giovanni Neri has got Henrik Kambrink breathing down the back of his race overalls, and more to boot, probably breathing down his exhaust pipe as well. Because we've got a minute to go. Probably say that next time around will be on the last lap. Well, 51 seconds remaining on the timer. Leaders coming out of the final piff-paff chicane after the right-hander. Again, Henrik Kambrink looking up the inside. Oh, and clatters over the back of Giovanni Neri. I cannot believe that. If I'm honest, I think that was a bit too much too late there from Henrik Kambrink, but he was lucky he got away with it, because that could have ended up so much worse. Or has it? Right, okay, let's just keep an eye. So, Paul Larsson leading by 9/10. Giovanni Neri was 9/10 behind. Yeah, it's dropped Henrik Kambrink, who also, to add insult to injury, just put in the fastest lap of the race, 60.473 seconds on lap 9. So the timer has expired, and the leaders very shortly will be coming around the right-hander onto the piff-paff chicane. Final lap underway, and Paul Larsson leading by nearly 9/10 of a second ahead of Giovanni Neri. Henrik Kambrink, Leif Søren Pedersen has got just behind, Leif Søren Pedersen has lost out to Kim Stift-Ibsen in the 95 Tony Kart, who has got through for 4th. They're dropping Kasper Jeppesen like a bad habit, with Mia Bach-Pedersen in 7th, Steen Elkjaring, Michael Edelhart, they round out the top 9. Looks like we still have 11 runners and riders in this. Yannick Jorgensen and Ole Andersen. Ole in the number 61 has just come across the line. So checkered flag waves, and it's going to be Paul Larsson who wins the pre-final for Prix 95 amidst drama and circumstance for the top 2 last year, with Fredslund Ibsen mounting the back of Engström at the outskirts of turn 3 on lap 2, taking them both out of the race. They've got all the big old mountains to climb in the pre-final. Giovanni Neri, despite a slight scare courtesy of Henrik Kambrink, takes 2nd position, Ambrink 3rd. Kim Stift-Ibsen taking 4th ahead of Leif Søren Pedersen. Kasper Jeppesen, then we got Mila Bach-Pedersen rounding out the top 7. Steen Elkjaring, Michael Edelhart and Ole Andersen rounding out the top 10, with Yannick Jorgensen due to be the last of the finishers on after 11 laps. Yannick Jorgensen finishing 11th ahead of Magnus Markvard Internai, who retired on lap 3, and the biggest one of all, Kim Engström and Jimmy Fredslund Ibsen on lap 2, turn 3. It all went horribly wrong, but Larsson has the advantage going into the final later on.